If you ever get properly prepared, food, water, power, warmth, there's one mistake that can undo all of it: telling someone. Because the moment people know you're prepared, you don't just have supplies, you have attention, and attention is expensive. This video is about stealth preparedness, the quiet rules that keep you safe, keep your family calm, and stop you becoming the local emergency fund when things get weird. And I'm not talking zombie apocalypse, I'm talking UK reality, storms, blackouts, fuel disruptions, price spikes, empty shelves, and that slow feeling of, hang on, things aren't as solid as we thought. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. Today we're doing the one topic most people avoid because it's uncomfortable, but it might be the most important thing you learn about prepping and survival. When you get prepared, tell no one. And I'm going to show you the 7 rules to do it properly without being paranoid, without being weird, and without turning into that guy everyone laughs at until they're knocking on your door. Quick one before we start. Do you think staying quiet is smart, or does it hurt community? Comment below and subscribe for more UK realistic survival and preparedness without the drama. Right, let's get into it. Most people think prepping is about buying stuff, tins, torches, gadgets, but the truth is prepping becomes dangerous when it becomes visible, because people don't just see your supplies, they see a solution to their problems. And in a crisis, even a small one, desperate people don't act like themselves, they behave like need. So here's the contrarian truth: the better prepared you are, the quieter you should become. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to be prepared without looking prepared. And I'll give you a simple rule for helping people without becoming the neighbourhood's pantry. Rule 1, tell no one, OPSEC. Let me ask you something. If your street lost power for 3 days, who becomes the most valuable house on the street? The one with candles, or the one with lights, charging, hot food and water? Exactly. Imagine it's night 2, people are cold, phones are dead, no one knows what's happening, and then someone sees it. A little glow through your curtains, the quiet hum of something charging, the smell of food when no one else can cook. That's not comfort anymore, that's a signal. So rule 1 is simple. Your preparedness is private. Don't post your pantry online. Don't film your full kit wall and show your address. Don't joke at work about I'd be fine in a blackout. Don't be the guy who says I've got enough for months. Because what you're really saying is I'm the solution when you panic, and you don't want that job. But you might be thinking, Charlie, what about community? What about helping? Good, we'll get there, because there's a smart way to do it. Rule 2, look normal, stealth prep. If you want to be safe, don't look like a target and don't look like a prepper either, because both attract attention, just different kinds. Stealth preparedness is boring, and that's why it works. It looks like a normal kitchen, normal shopping, normal routines, nothing dramatic. You can be prepared without changing how you present yourself. This is the UK, people notice, people talk, and the fastest way to become that guy is to suddenly act like you're living in a bunker. So prep like a professional and look like a tourist. Quiet wins. Rule 3, boundaries, or you become the emergency fund. Here's the brutal truth: if people know you've got supplies, you'll get little favours first and pressure later. It starts innocent. Mate, can I borrow a power bank? Have you got a spare torch? Any bottled water just for tonight? Then it becomes, you're sorted, why can't you help me? You've got loads, don't be selfish. I'll do it for you. And suddenly your calm preparedness turns into a social tug of war. So rule 3 is never let people mentally register you as their plan. If you help someone, do it in a way that doesn't reveal you're stocked. A good rule is help once in a way that encourages self-resilience, not dependence. Like, here's one spare battery pack and here's where you can get one tomorrow. Here's a cup of water and here's how to store water properly. Here's a meal and next time grab a couple of tins when you shop. You're not their backup generator, you're not their pantry, you're a human being with a family. Right, quick practical plug. If you want the exact kit I recommend, torches, power, water, radios, basics, I put it all in my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list. It's linked below. It saves you hunting through random junk and it's all UK specific. Rule 4, don't flex your power. In a disruption, the most dangerous thing you can broadcast is I have energy, because energy equals heat, light, phone charging, information, cooking. That's basically gold. So here's how you can stay quiet. Blackout curtains, no bright windows at night. Keep lights low, use task lighting, not whole room lighting. Charge discreetly, don't run loud kits late at night if the whole street is silent. If you want to be safe, you don't need to look powerful, you need to look average, because average gets ignored. Average doesn't get tested. Rule 5, rotate, don't raid, the principal rule. Most people fail preparedness the same way lottery winners fail wealth. They burn through the principle for comfort. When you finally have decent stores, it's tempting to treat it like a treat cupboard, but that's how you quietly lose your edge. The goal isn't one big shop, the goal is a system. So do this, eat what you store what you eat, replace what you use. That's it. It keeps you prepared forever, not just for one scarce week, and it keeps your house looking normal because you're not stacking mountains of stuff like a doomsday hoarder. Rule 6, have a public plan and a private plan. If someone asks you, are you prepared? You need an answer that protects you. Because here's the trap, if you say no, you look helpless. If you say yes, you look like a resource. So you need a third option, the stealth option. Your public plan is something like, yeah, we've got the basics, a torch, first aid, a couple tins, same as everyone should. That's it. It sounds normal, it encourages responsibility, it doesn't scream stockpile. Your private plan is the real one, the deeper redundancy, the rotation, the skills, the quiet systems. Public plan equals social safety, private plan equals real safety. Rule 7, the golden rule. Prep for people, not against them. Now here's the part people twist. They hear tell no one and they think it means trust nobody, become a loner, hoard everything. No. In the UK, community matters, neighbours matter, but you don't build community by advertising your stash. You build it by raising the baseline of everyone around you without announcing you're the hero. This is how you win long term, and here's the quiet method. Bring up preparedness casually as common sense. Encourage tiny steps, torch, radio, water. Share knowledge, not inventory. Share skills, not your stockpile. If you help in small ways that don't reveal depth, and if someone keeps pushing, keeps asking, keeps learning, you can be kind and still be firm. I can't be everyone's plan. You need your own basics. That line will save you. Let me say this clearly, the goal of prepping isn't to feel superior, it's to feel calm, and calm disappears the moment your preparation becomes public, because once people know, they start counting what you have before they even ask you. So when you get prepared, tell no one, not because you hate people, not because you're selfish, because you're protecting your family, your privacy, your safety, and your ability to help in a controlled way without becoming the target. Quick recap, the 7 rules. Tell no one, OPSEC matters, look normal, stealth prep. Boundaries, don't become the emergency fund. Don't flex your power, light and heat attract attention. Rotate, don't raid, systems beat stockpiles. Public plan versus private plan. Prep for people, not against them, quiet help. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more survival and preparedness content. And if you want my exact recommended kit, it's all linked in the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list in the description. It's the fastest way to copy a sensible UK setup without overthinking it. Comment below one item you would keep hidden in a blackout and don't overshare everything. Now it's time to see why you need to get these 10 items before February 1st, 2026. Click this video on screen now to learn all about it, and I'll catch you over there.